Grasshoppers. It's Monday morning. Frankenstein is here.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. I messed up. I went to write Frank, middle initial N.
But you know what? We know you well enough now. We know exactly what the intention was.
Exactly. Well, that's because I can. Not only do I control the universe, I can control the thoughts.
Multi-universes.
Oh God. It's
just got the Fu Manchu going, the hat going, man, a whole different look. Like if we go to the summertime, we got no shirt,
nothing,
all tanned up, muscle on top of muscle,
and the what do you call it? The pelican behind me, whatever.
The pelican and the dog barking next door.
No, this is Joe Namath in honor of him because yesterday we beat Don Bosco Prep.
Was that the? I was that could be the worst football game ever played in the history of national.
You know what, Tom? I'm really thinking now that league is so watered down.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? Look how I think the guys just started shaping him. They're getting hurt all the time too, right?
I wonder if it was the field yesterday.
Well, I heard Boomer Esiason talk about that today. He said he didn't think it was because there's like injuries around the league. Some were on grass, some were on the field. Mm-hmm. But again, they don't hit anymore in practice. They don't hit anymore like preseason stuff. So
I don't know enough about football to talk to it, to speak to that part of it. But something's going on. I mean, the Jets were down to the third string center. You couldn't snap the ball,
And the Giants couldn't throw it. I felt bad for the kid. Like, at least throw him once on first down, something like that.
If he throws an interception, who cares? Zach, I mean, they all do. And here's the thing. How embarrassing is it for the NFL to say, hey, we know he's not going to throw the ball.
Oh, I know.
He's an NFL quarterback, but we know he's not going to throw the ball.
Right. And then the kicker misses two field goals.
Yeah, I think he may be out of a job.
Oh, and then the Jets. I'm a Giant fan. I think you're more of a Jet fan. But some of the penalties they took, too, like at the worst
just stupid. Just undisciplined, selfish. Like we know in hockey, selfish penalty. 2 minute, because you're behind the play, you hook a guy. It's a selfish penalty. Yeah.
All right, so we got to make sure full change. I'm talking about my podcast, Full Change. The Patriot Training Systems, one of Mr. Mark Puttenvink, the Frank and Stein.
That's how I control the universe.
Yes, that's how you control the universe. Yeah. To all the people from around the world, Philippines, Singapore, everywhere around the world. It's amazing.
Royce is over there now. Philippines.
Philippines?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, they had a big FMA, Filipino martial arts convention.
And that's right. And he is Filipino.
Filipino. Well, he's Filipino. I don't know how Filipino American.
The A is Filipina is the woman, and the O is the man.
So he's an American, Filipino American. Filipino American. Yeah.
Right. Anyone else? Let me see here. We see. Anyone else hurt at center or? Oh yeah.
I know. Should have done a better job than that other guy did.
I know.
It was awful.
I know. And I got to tell you, and again, I'm a Giant fan, but watching what's his name, Zach Wilson. What's his name? Wilson, right? The quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got the worst attitude. It seems like maybe it's just his mannerisms. He's got these like it's everybody else's fault kind of thing.
I think he's physically talented. I think he has a talent to play in the NFL. Again, I don't know. What do I know? But yeah, you're right. He's got some kind of, it's always the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that look in his face. Like, what is everybody else doing? I'm perfect out here. What's everybody else
doing? And NFL officiating is so whacked out. You know, there was a slant pattern where the guy caught the ball like this, had possession. Then when he hit the ground, he lost control. And I thought the rule was I know it can't create a fumble. So in other words, if you go down and the ball comes out, isn't that the same with the reception? He clearly had possession of the ball.
It's all over the map, too. And you know what else about the officiating? That's a multi-billion-dollar business. And these guys, that's a part-time job for those referees. And they're fat and out of shape. Like, you know, that play at the end that Boomer's talking about today, it should have counted. Like, that play should have stopped. The game should have been over with.
Oh, yeah.
But the referee took so long to get in there. Yeah.
I mean, at least NHL, those guys, probably they're better in shape than the guys because they skate the whole game.
Yep, and that's their job. That's their full-time job. They don't have some. That's the thing. Okay, so you've got billions of dollars coming in. The owners are getting rich. The commissioner of the league is probably making like $50 million a year or something like that, and they can't pay the referee.
It's horrible.
Full-time job.
Horrible, man.
I know. Anthony Carlucci in Brick, New Jersey.
Good man.
So let's get into something here. So we're like making names like Brick. Like who thought of the name Brick, New Jersey? Why is that town named Brick?
I don't know. But maybe Anthony knows. But a lot of these towns, it has to do with either someone's last name. Maybe it was a Mayor Brick or somebody way back when, or a family, a Brick family, or in my case, Brickhead. But
Brickhead. And what town do you live in?
Mawa. That's an Indian name.
Mawa.
Native name, I should say.
Do you know? Remember did I tell this bad joke already? It's a bad dad joke. Remember Robin Bawa? Did I tell you this joke?
No.
You remember the player Robin Bawa?
Yeah.
Well, the rumor was that he was dating Barbara Walters.
Oh,
and she had a little bit of a speech impediment. So if she got married to him, she would have been Baba Bawa.
Baba Bawa. There you go. Yeah.
I used to think that was so funny. It goes back like 40 years.
Yeah, but most people today don't even know who Barbara Walters is.
I know.
That's the problem.
Did she have like? She had like a little slur to her speech or something? Didn't she?
She had some kind of speech impediment, but
Right.
didn't seem to hold her back.
Yeah, she kept talking right through it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that one. Baba Bawa.
Yeah,
Give me your best dad joke. You got a good dad joke that you'd go to?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're very short and brief. I use them all the time, and even now, Beth gets pissed, and the kids get like, we'll be in a restaurant, and can I help you, sir? Yeah, I'll have turtle soup, and I'm in a rush. Make it snappy. And they look at me like, please just don't laugh. They always say, don't laugh at them because they'll just.
The other one is like, you say, how much is a cup of coffee? And they'll say, well, $2. And I said, how much is the refill? Well, it's free. I said, I'll take the free. I'll take the refill.
Exactly.
Here's another one. Okay. So I have to color this up, clean it up a little bit. But, okay. So Nun is at home at night. Attractive nun. She's taking a bath. She's all private and everything. And the door knocks. And she's kind of startled at first, but she asked first before she opens the door. Obviously, she's naked. And she says, who's at the door? The gentleman goes, I'm the blind guy. So she figures, well, she doesn't have to cover up because he can't see her. He's blind. So she opens the door. He goes, nice breasts. Where do you want your blinds?
That I like. Do you remember Norm Macdonald? He was Canadian.
Yeah. Oh, the comedian, yes.
Oh, man. He had, I mean, some you can't tell here, but he had the best. They're kind of like dad jokes. He's saying that, so this moth goes into a podiatrist, and the podiatrist says, well, what can I do for you? He says, well, I'm really depressed. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. He said, well, sounds to me like you're having some kind of psychological issues, and you really need to see a psychiatrist. And and I'm a podiatrist. I work on feet. Why'd you come into my office? And he says, the moth says, well, because your light was on. That was Norm Macdonald. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. There's two guys too, and I see them every once in a while on these reels. And there's it must be late night or whatever. The thing is, they try to do the most tasteless jokes possible, like ones that really offend everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's one black guy, one white guy. So the white guy will make racist comments, but it's all supposed to be like that's
in good taste. Yes, and fun.
You ever go back and watch the old Dean Martin stuff and all the roasts, like Don Rickles and all those guys?
I was watching Lou Costello and Bud Abbott last night when they bought a haunted, because everything on American Movie Channel, whatever it is now, is all Halloween stuff.
Right.
So it was when they bought this haunted house. It was pretty cool.
Okay, I want to get back to going around to towns, but here's my thing. So it's Halloween coming up. We're trying to teach people to be healthy and eat good foods.
Right.
So now we have this tradition where we give kids candy. It's all sugar in it. Are we going to take the stance that, well, it's just one day, don't worry about it? Or do we take the stance we get them?
Well, Beth and I take a different approach. We put deli meats out. Yeah, I know they're high in sodium, but it's better than the sugar.
A nice hot dog. Hey, here, kids. Here's a cigarette. Here's a cigarette. Remember the cigarettes used to be chocolate? Remember they made chocolate cigarettes?
Yeah. I'd eat the whole pack.
Remember it used to be like cigarettes on a plane too. Can you imagine that now? People smoking cigarettes on a plane.
Oh, you smoke. Was that? I'm coughing already. It was everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's our friend from Singapore right here, Sheena. Wonderful creature.
Good morning, Sheena.
Good morning, Sheena. Lovely person. Here's our veteran right here, Keith. What's up, brother?
That's my boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he does it. Yeah. That's right too. Good point.
Listen, you come here and live with Beth. You got to be on your toes. You got to be ready.
She's on the move. That's right. She's on the move, isn't she?
You know what? Let me tell you something. I've been with her for a long time. She told me a story over dinner the other night. I had no idea. And I said, you know what? There's a reason we're together. So many years ago, she used to bartend because she, had a bartend.
Right.
And I guess she was closing out the drawer for the night. And another guy that works there, pushes her out of the way. And she's like, what are you doing? And she takes a wine carafe and she throws it at him in the restaurant. They both get fired. So either that day or the next day, whenever, she's walking down the street and she looks over her shoulder and the dude's following her.
Oh,
this is true story.
Oh, I thought you were joking around with this.
No. It's a true story. So there happened to be a construction site. So you got to imagine, she's like a 20-year-old little cute kid, right? Yeah. Goes on a construction site and goes up to the biggest dude like you and says, hey, listen, this guy's following me. Pulls out a knife. He hands it to her. Says, hold that. He shuts the job down. They all circle around her and they're like, don't even.
Is that right?
Yeah. I said, you know what? That was really quick thinking.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? I mean, we teach all this, hand-to-hand stuff, but that's winning the fight without the fight. And that was real. I have to give her credit. It was really smart. Yeah.
I was in Edmonton. I was in the agent business. I was there seeing a client. I'm driving around, and I think I was at fault too. Got in a confrontation with this other guy driving, and now all of a sudden he starts following me all around. I'm thinking, okay, I feel pretty confident I can get out of the car and kick his, you know what? But I think, what if he's got a gun or something like that?
Yeah.
So I drove around for a while. He wouldn't stop. I finally, I think I drove to the police station.
Yeah.
Then
I know years ago, but a guy got out and he was a business guy. He was a tall guy, but he was lanky. You know, he was intimidating if you let him intimidate you by his look, but he really wasn't. Anyhow, same thing. The day before Thanksgiving here, they get into it, yap, on Route 287. They get out of the car, and the other guy got out of the car wearing a business suit too, older guy, shot him.
Oh.
And he didn't even know he was shot. He thought it was like a pellet gun or something.
Right.
He got in the car, called state troops, said, listen, I don't know what happened. But I'm driving myself to Morristown Hospital. And anyhow, the cops caught up to him and they stopped him. When he went over to get his paperwork, there was blood all over the front seat. It blew a hole right through him.
Wow.
Yeah. And the guy that shot him was John Q. Public, like 3 daughters in college. And
wow.
So, yeah, listen, man, it's hard not to want to get out of the car, but you're really not. It's not good for anybody. I'll tell you this much. So it's also not good if you have your phone on and you're talking to your mom.
Yeah.
And you forget it's on speaker.
Oh.
And so some guy, I guess I didn't pull away from like fast enough.
Right.
And then he stops at the next light and he said something to me and I just told him a few things.
Your mother's on the line?
Yeah, hey, Mom.
I was like that. I think I've told a story, but this is all years ago. So my sons were in high school, I believe. And we would, after high school, I pick them up. We go to the gym and work out together. Mm-hmm. And we'd go in the basketball court and warm up playing some basketball. One day, I don't know what, Cody, my youngest guy, for some reason, threw the basketball off the back of my head. And like, there's no confrontation or whatever. I turned to look to him thinking it must have been an accident or whatever. And he's got that teenage look on his face. Right. Yeah, looking at me like, do you have a problem? So I snap. I said, we're done. We're out of here. So now to go home, we have to get on 95. So traffic's always a mess on 95.
Now you're hot.
Oh, road rage. Some woman, we got off the highway and some woman cut me off. And yeah, I said some things that I should not have said at all. And Shane actually, yeah, totally right in front of the kids. Totally embarrassed myself. It's all my fault. And then Shane actually grabbed me by the back of the pants. I think I was getting out of the car to confront this woman, and he grabbed me and pulled me back in.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, not good.
Well, I was at where the Devils used to play,
New Jersey,
Brennan Byrne Arena, the first one, yeah. And I was there doing some kind of work officially. I still had a sport coat and tie, but Sean was with me. Sean was maybe 10 or 11.
Right.
So I have to go meet a player in between periods. I start walking down, and Sean goes, "Dad, that guy just threw a beer from down, right?"
Right.
So there happened to be a couple troopers there, and so I say, "Hey, this dude there, see that guy? Yeah, he just threw a beer." Right. So they go up and they grab him. Well, his buddy comes down, and I'm looking around waiting for the player, and he's hammered, and he's kind of like not really in shape, kind of a fat guy.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me, he starts chirping, right? And like, so Sean's right here, right?
Yeah.
So long story short, I did something to him that brought him to his knees because he threatened me, right?
I like when you said that. I did something to him that brought him to his knees. That's good. Okay.
So then as they're hauling him away, he said something to me like, blah, blah, blah. And Sean just looks up, pardon me, but he says, "And you need a brassiere." Because kind of.
So, going from a kid to a 10 or 11
that's the best.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. All right. But so we got some. We got somebody's done some research here.
Okay. There you
named
go.
after John W. Rick in 1850. Oh, one of the most prominent presidents.
Yeah, most of the towns, I guess, in all over, but New Jersey especially, a lot of them. Where I live in Bergen County, there's a lot of Native American names to towns, but there's also like where Bill used to live down by Roebling, and that was an area where Roebling was. They built all the cables like for the GW Bridge and all that kind of stuff, and so the town was named after that guy.
Oh.
So that's the way it works a lot of time.
Up in Canada, because it was a British colony, a lot of stuff from the British too. How about New York? Right, that's got to be like York from.
But yeah, a lot of native towns as well.
Right.
But Canada, how'd they come up with the name Canada?
Good
I
point.
heard a story, but I don't know if it's true.
What was the story?
Well, all the forefathers got together. They took a hat and they put letters in there.
I know
in
you
the first graph.
C-A. Ah, that's good. I like that one. That's a good one. C-A.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody today that where I grew up, it's A at the end of every sentence. Now, I used to do it myself. Now
I don't hear it that much anymore, though, right?
Yeah.
I guess when you go home, maybe? Or
yeah. But when I hear it, it's like, I can't believe, why was I saying that? Like, it just makes no sense. You have.
Well, listen, I would imagine, because I know when I did a hockey school with Nathan up in Walkerton.
Yeah.
And he said the kids are all pumped. They can't wait to hear you talk.
Oh.
And then conversely, like, you know, as soon as I hear organization or then he's Canadian, right?
Yeah. Or sorry. They say sorry all the time too.
Or pardon. A lot of guys say
yes.
pardon. Yeah. I'm like, man, these dudes are polite up there.
How about what is an eaves trough? You know what an eaves trough is?
No, what's that?
It's a rain gutter. It's an eaves trough. So the eaves and the trough.
Yeah. Yeah, that sometimes happens too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Z. Is it, what do you call it? Z here, right?
What's that?
XYZ. So it's Z.
Z.
Z in Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you don't spell color right either.
That's right too. Either. Yeah. Good point.
Is it either or either?
Yeah.
No.
We're talking about spelling. Yeah.
So
hello from Sweden, Tony Bengtsson.
Well, my friend Tony, let me tell you a little Swedish story.
Oh, you know Tony?
No, but Andreas Johansson came in to Rye one day. He said, Mark, can you do me a favor? I said, yeah, what do you need, bud? My friends, two of my buddies here from Stockholm. And if you're, like when I was with the Rangers, it was Sopranos was really a big thing.
Right.
So he goes, when they come in, could you speak Jersey to them for a while? I said, yeah, no problem.
What New Jersey? So New Jersey. So there must have been an old Jersey then, an original Jersey.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, what about New Hampshire? Is it an old Hampshire?
Yeah. New England.
Well, New England, yeah, because it's from England.
Right.
So Jersey would be a big part of England, wouldn't it?
And then how for many years we believed that Columbus settled here first. We had all the Native Americans already here.
Right. Natives were here, and also they think the Vikings may have been here.
Yeah. How about the let's get something, the pyramids, the Great Pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
So there must be now another civilization before ours, right? That got killed off to be intelligent enough to build those.
Oh yeah. What makes you think our civilization's intelligent?
Good point, yeah, we talked about before, right? Imagine somebody, a UFO coming over and taking a look down here and going,
just keep going, man.
Move on.
Don't stop. Just keep going.
It's like when you're walking down the street and there's a homeless guy. You'd like to help him, but you got to keep moving, right?
Yeah.
So we're like the homeless planet.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
No leadership.
Wow, it's really scary.
Yeah. Again, all our thoughts and prayers up to the people in Maine as well. Like we were talking before, obviously the guy had some mental health issues. So it's unfortunate. Yeah. What do you do about that though, too? I mean, if he hasn't committed a crime and he's
no, but so here's the thing. I know Maine I think has what they call a yellow law, but here in New Jersey, and this is a double-edged sword. It can go in the wrong direction, but they have red laws, I believe.
Right.
So that if you know one of your family members or someone you know is mentally ill, and they have legally purchased handgun or rifle, whatever, you can call the police in, and so they'll go snap. But then again, it's dangerous because what if you just don't like that person?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
that's wherein lies the problem.
Yeah. Those poor people.
But this guy was in a mental institution over the summer, and he threatened to go to his because he was Army National Guard. He was going to go to the base and kill everybody. So I mean, how much more did he have to say? And in that case, I blame it on the doctors because they should have went right to law enforcement and said, "Hey, check if this dude's got guns at home because this is what he's saying." Somebody dropped the ball huge there, and it's unfortunate.
And I hate to say it like this too, but man, there's a lot of people with mental health issues out there. Not to that level, I don't know.
Now more than ever. Now more than ever. Ever since COVID, suicide rate for young girls is like doubled.
Oh man!
And that's also social media and everything else. It's a tough time.
Yeah, like for it to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
Somebody makes that decision. So again, everybody, like not that 988 hotline. Mark and I will both be here for you if you want to call and chat. We're here for you. But again, we're not professionals.
You may hear a couple bad dad jokes, but
I know, no kidding. Why? Why do I enjoy the bad dad jokes so much? I think they're hilarious.
I used to humorless jokes, right?
Yeah.
Guy walked into a deli and the guy behind the counter says, "What do you have?" I said, "I'll have a ham sandwich." And then you start laughing. People look at you like.
What else was I going to mention to you? All right, let's get back on these cities here. So Greenwich, Connecticut. First of all, where's Connecticut? That must be a native.
That's a native name. Yeah, that is. Yeah, it was a tribe, I believe. Yeah.
Right. Huh. How about Tecumseh? How about like names? Like
Tecumseh was a
Shawnee
warrior. Yeah,
Shawnee
warrior chief.
He was he wrote that poem that was in the movie Act of Valor that they used.
Yeah,
and I've really followed that now. Like it was a fat. You figure this guy's a warrior, right? A warrior chief, but he was like writing his own poetry and everything. It's pretty cool.
But I did. I think I sent you. So there was a guy. I forget his name. He was a SEAL, or still a SEAL, former SEAL. But he was talking about how he would make the bombs. The overpressure bombs when they breach a room, so they got to blow the door off.
Right.
And he said he'd make it, run up, attach it, and he'd look and only see like green lights.
Yeah.
Because my night vision. And he said the three words that would say execute, execute, execute.
Yeah.
And he was trying to like allegorically tell you how to apply that to your life. I think I sent it to you. I thought it.
Yeah, you did. The guy with the long hair, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. What about what other cities? How about Bridgeport? Oh, I guess it's right on the water there.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bridgeport.
Yep.
What's some other funny names for cities? Breck.
Oh, there's tons of them. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I still some of the sports teams when you think about it, right?
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah.
New York Yankees, and I thought Yankee was like derogatory if you went down south.
That's right. How about the New York Rangers?
Tex Ranger.
Tex Range. That's right. A lot of people didn't know that too.
No, most people don't know.
Yeah, I met her as a granddaughter at an event one time. She was very proud. She was in the Rangers locker room. I can't remember what was going on, and she was all excited because her grandfather started the team. Actually, a neighbor of mine, her grandfather was the president of the basketball guard for a while too. Jennings, I think it was Mr. Jennings.
Oh yeah, William Jennings, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, years ago. Jack. Who was the other guy that ran it too? It was Gulf and Western owned it.
Yes.
They own MSG. They own the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
That's back when I played, man.
Who was GM when you first started?
Freddie Shiro. Well, his crew there. It was he was. I think he was technically the GM and coach. So we had
Mike Nichols.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. Yeah. I didn't get.
He's native. That's a native dude.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Reg Leach. I think I told you the story. A great player from the Philadelphia Flyers. We'd contacted him.
Guy.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff.
He is
in public with native. And I had a conversation with him years ago, probably 10 years ago. And I used the phrase Indian, thinking that was the proper phrase to use. He was very nice. He stopped me. He says, Tom, listen, I know you don't know, but that's a very derogatory term for us. It is native Canadian. He was very good about it because he knew I wasn't trying to insult him, but so it was a great lesson for me to learn that.
Well, did he play junior in Flin Flon with Bobby Clark?
I think he did. Yes, he's from that.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. We did a podcast on Full Change again with Mick Fakota and Richie Pilon, both from Islanders. Oh God, funny. Mick Fakota is hilarious. I didn't realize he was such a funny guy.
Richie's Richie.
Oh man, he's funny. Yeah, he's got his life all cleaned up, but he's still got the little kid in him. Like he's they're funny. They're funny together too. Yeah. Well, we did a show with Randy Valachek and Grant Marshall. Yes. Yeah. He's a funny man.
Oh, he's a good. I like
him. Man.
I mean, and I've known Randy forever. I mean, we coach our kids together, and but Grant's fine. He does a lot with their alumni.
Yeah, he does. I think he's actually hired by that team. Yeah, he was giving it to. He's calling Randy the nerd and all this kind of stuff.
He went to Providence and at 4.0.
Yeah, like I went to Northern Michigan.
But he told me, he goes, even then, Lou knew if you cut class.
Oh.
So the next morning it was 4 a.m. on the ice, no pucks.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, well, Lou was his coach there.
Oh,
Lamorello was the coach, the hockey program at Providence.
I don't know how our coach kept me eligible to play. I was awful. Oh, honestly, God, I wouldn't even buy books. It got to the point where it was just ridiculous. Huh? Oh, I told you I went back there and did a speaking engagement. It was fantastic going back to Northern Michigan. Rick Comley, who had been my coach, he had left, gone to Michigan State, coached there for a while. Yeah. And then came back to Northern and now is the athletic director. And it's funny because I hadn't seen him in so long. And when he came walking over to me, all the stories, all the things we did just came flashing back. And he could tell he could tell I was just cringing too, right? He was like he was dying laughing.
Was Randy McKay, was he at Michigan State when you were there?
Randy McKay went to Michigan Tech, didn't he? Or did he go to Michigan State?
I thought it was Michigan State.
Was it? Okay. Yeah. So I went to Northern Michigan, and so I was never at Michigan State. But,
okay.
Yeah, but Comley was. He probably coached him.
Those guys, you guys were in different conferences?
Yes, we were in the CCHA, the Central Collegiate Hockey Association. Yeah. They were in the WCHA.
Okay.
I skated with Randy and Thursdays. Oh, do you really? Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Randy's one of those guys. He's still ripped and shredded, and
he's
always out on a 20-mile bike ride or whatever.
Yeah, he looks like it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and his wife too. She's pretty healthy too, isn't she? Like.
Yeah, I think they're both into that whole active lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, I was communicating with Bob Nystrom. He's really into health and fitness too. I think talking about Clark Gillies before he passed away, he was saying that Bob was kind of worried about all the concussions he took, so he really wanted to keep himself in shape. So,
well, that makes sense. I mean, if you stay active, it's blood flow to your brain, and if you've had concussions, maybe it kind of holds it back a bit.
Yeah. I think about it sometimes too. I want to be healthy just in general, but my father passed away; he had dementia too, so kind of concerned. That's tough.
I have Italian Alzheimer's.
What is that?
You forget everything but the grudge.
Oh God, my poor father. That was awful because he was such an active man. Yeah. The good thing is he doesn't even, they don't know what's going on. It's like more everybody else around him. Yeah.
My mom, she had a brain injury. From that point moving forward, she was
right.
Actually, today's my dad's birthday. He would have been 90s. Oh God, he would have been 97 today. Yeah.
Right. And when you say your dad, this is your adopted dad that you.
Oh yeah, and that's my dad.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And you I mean, it's a compliment to you. You seem fine speaking about it. Like it's no. But
oh yeah, no. Listen, man. The way I look at it, I hit the lottery.
Yeah.
Could have gone the other way,
I was telling somebody else too. How good of a father you are, and I'm assuming part of that is, I mean, going through the adoption, everything. You want to make sure your kids are.
Well, and then and plus I had a great role model, my dad.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents were fantastic too, but we grew up in that farm back then. Nobody told each other they love each other. So I was always telling my sons that I loved them. They got to be teenagers going to high school, and Dad, can you just please not do it in front of our friends anymore?
But I know, and there is that time when you got to stop.
Yeah.
Sean was he was probably 15 or 16. He broke his nose so bad that it was literally over here.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, you told me that story.
And so, like, I put I'm in the ring. I don't know what to do. I'm not a doctor. I put a towel on his face and I was rubbing the small of his back, and he stopped that. He got pissed at me. I was like, because you're not a little kid anymore. He's like, I got this. I mean, even though I'm jacked up, I got it.
Isn't it funny as they then become adults again? Then now every conversation is, I love you.
Well, I tell you, the script flipped it too. I think I told the story right in the ring when I started going after some guys that were chirping after my fighter lost the pro fight.
Right.
And it was Sean, because he was working the corner with me. I got him his pro license to work the corner. And he's like, Dad, stop. I'm like,
I know.
This is my kid telling me.
I know, isn't that true? Yeah. Your sons start lecturing. I'm sure like your sons too. My boys are very intelligent and everything. They just kind of like when I type something with one finger, like, you can tell they're rolling their eyes like, oh, Dad, let me do it. God.
Yeah.
And I've gotten better with all the technology and everything too. But when Cody particularly got me going on Instagram and Facebook, it was he was just shaking his head. Like I think I told you, he yelled at me one time because he thought I wasn't working hard enough. And I just I didn't know what the heck he was talking about hashtags and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, Ty was making movies already when he was like 10, 8 or 10.
Yeah.
And I'd always kid around, go, Ty, if you need somebody for your film, he goes, well, we don't need the gray old saggy guy yet.
Oh, yeah, they come over and me forgetting things now. Like they're like every time I forget something, like I can't remember. I can't remember if I used to be forgetful or is it now I'm just getting older.
Well, there's two things you lose when you get older, Tom. The first one's memory.
Yes, you're buttered today. You're butter. You're on a roll.
I feel my legs.
So like some other countries, like Paris, like where's Paris? Who named Paris? That's an old one. That's been around for years.
So. Again, I'm going to guess there's somebody that had that name.
Yeah, good point.
Because most of the a lot of the European cities are named after whoever conquered.
Yeah, good point. That's right too. Yeah. Think back about those pyramids though too. Like that's got to be like if we really haven't found a solution of how those pyramids.
No, we have no idea.
Right.
And that's what So it was either a civilization that was way ahead of us that went away for some reason, that had technology that we don't know, or it was aliens, or who? I don't know. That's a weird one. Okay. Yeah. Well, even I was watching something with all those like Stonehenge and a lot of the rock formations, especially in England, because England's so been there forever. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. They have no idea how they did that either, because those things are huge. I don't know quite how big, but they're huge, and they weigh tons, like tons.
Yeah, how would they get those up there, right?
Yeah, how to get them in the ground?
Huh. Got that stuff. Wow.
And we can't fill potholes out here. It's unbelievable.
Well, the roads are awful. Like 287 that goes across Westchester Express. You can't drive in the middle lanes. That's where the trucks drive all the time. They just beat up the road.
Yeah.
They feel like it's going to wreck your car.
And it does.
Yeah. So as I mentioned to you, I'm trying to stay away from the gym for a little bit here and do more walking. I feel pretty good. Like I always feel like I kind of rejuvenated my body.
Again, you need if you feel you need that break, you do it, because mentally it's because then you go back in the gym, you're hungry.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. The key is just to keep moving. Like replace it with something else, right? Go for a walk, march.
Yeah. 100%.
Like you don't really go to the gym per se, like to lift. Like it's more outside doing stuff.
Yeah, outside. Right. I have in the house here when it's crappy. I got kettlebells and some dumbbells and. Right. But yeah, I go to, and the only time I go to the gym, I shouldn't say that, but what I utilize the gym is they have stuff that I don't have here, right? Like tricep push down. It's really hard. There's no way to do it at home. I've tried with bands, but it's just not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, at the start of the pandemic, I was using those bands that you hook over the door. You can get a workout still.
But it's just not the same.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says.
You know what's else happened to me? I'm so used to like being in a gym with people. Like the last, I guess it must be 2.5, 3 years now. I've been by myself in the gym. Because I go in there at 4:30 in the morning. It's almost like, oh God. Like,
well, now the big issue in gyms, and Beth has told me a couple times, other people, because everybody's doing everything on Instagram now.
Yeah.
I'm like, you try to do something, the guy's like, you're in my camera. Like,
yeah, I know.
Dude, it's a gym, bro.
I know.
Like, it's not a studio. The
And
guys getting into fist fights. It's crazy.
I know. And no disrespect too, because, I was coming in there early. The gym doesn't open until 6. So people started to realize I was in there early. So they'd come in early. And it's a lot of older people that are not really, they're watching TV while they're working out. And I'm like, come on, it's a gym. Yeah. Isn't it amazing? Like, you shouldn't be like that. You should be able to motivate yourself. But you want to be in an environment where it's easier to be in the environment where other people are.
So the other day, Thursday, remember, it was like 80 degrees out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm on the artificial turf. I'm just shadow boxing, doing my whatever. And I see this guy that I would see periodically through the summer. I'd like say hello to him in passing, but he drives one of those tandem, like big truck, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he'd park it, and then he'd go out there with just his shorts on. I mean, the guy's big dude. He's older too. I figured he's like, he's up there, but he's jacked. Right. So he's going off the field the other day. Hey man, how you doing? He came, So we got to talking, and he had been a guest of the federal penitentiary system for 18 years. I didn't ask about what. I mean, he was a cool dude, but then in retrospect, he was doing yard work, prison workout. Push up, burpee, sprint, push up. I mean, he's not a kid. He was still pretty. And I don't think he was doing anything to help him hormonally. I think he was just a big, strong guy.
You've been very delicate with your wording today. How'd you just say that about hormonally? You didn't?
Yeah. All right. So he's not doing any juice. So he's not.
What about Bill Brown when we had him on? How did he say it? There's no drug testing at our events.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It is funny looking at the pictures.
I don't know where he was this weekend. I mean, every weekend he's all over. Like, he was with Bernard Carrick, and they were all wearing cowboy hats or something. Yeah.
What's that?
And a couple some tier 1 dudes. Yeah. I'll have to ask him.
Tier 1 dudes. He's quite the man. He's got that big square jaw on him too, man. Ooh. He was funny. I wouldn't know if I want to get in the ring with him or not.
No, I tell you, there's no disrespect to anybody. I won't use any names, but he was sparring a guy, and I had to stop it because it wasn't really boxing. Like, Bill went into this other mode that I quickly recognized as he's going to kill this guy. Let me stop this. Yeah. And it's only because that's who he is. And I don't think he was consciously, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That switch goes off. Yeah.
The switch was off for sure. And that's one of the cool drills he taught me. These are really great drill, right? For working with kids or anybody. They're called light switch drills. So you start doing push-ups, nice and slow, right? Just easy. And then make you go real fast. And then I'm going to ask you a question. And then you got to hold it. So now you're fatigued. Right. But now, so let's say for hockey, right? So the kid's going slow, and then you go quick, and they start playing, and you say, hold it. What's the first man in the zone do? Where's he go? And the kid's got to think. He's got to go to the house.
Cool.
But what it's doing is it's making you think when you're pre-fatigued, which is in combat, obviously, something you want to be able to do.
That's pretty cool.
And problem solve.
I had a buddy of mine help me, Robbie Sherwood, trainer, New York Sports Club in Stamford, Connecticut. And he had me doing some stuff similar to that, where he would have me memorize a poem.
Okay. Yeah.
And then go get your heart rate going somehow. He would try to aggravate me, ride a bike, whatever it is. And then I'd try to recite the poem again. And I couldn't recite it. I'd do it perfect before I started, but it was my heart rate got going and I wasn't thinking clearly. So he really taught me about controlling my breathing, like really slowing down my breathing. And it seemed to work too. But yeah, that's interesting it's interesting to know for an athlete, right? To train like that. So
absolutely. Yeah. And so here's the other thing we had done another time when all of us went up into the mountain. We did some sit, which is stress inoculation training. So what we would do is I would take a guy, blindfold him, spin him, get him really dizzy. And then I'd either set him down like he's in a car and he's got to get out of the car. And the moment he did, we'd pull the hood off so he could see there'd be somebody jumping him. So we had to react to it. But when you do these, like when you do, say, like the same guy, if you do like 6 or 8 in a row, stressful training, then you say to him, spell your mother's maiden name backwards. They can't do it. Because you've lost your cognitive thinking. You went straight to the wild brain and you're stuck there, which is what you want.
That's amazing.
Because you don't want to think because cognitive is slow. You want to go right to it.
Very cool. Very cool stuff.
It was fun.
All right. So we've gone through some geography here. We've figured out some training methods. We've covered a lot today. Like today was a good day. Like because there's all those people all over the universe, all over
I was just going to say, this is why the whole universe tunes into
no,
this.
Seriously, at 11 o'clock on Monday, we say, oh, somebody's this planet like a million miles away. They're saying, we got to get 11 o'clock. People,
I'm surprised they haven't come down to try to get on with us.
Yeah. We got people from Sweden, Singapore, Philippines, all over. Yeah. Unbelievable.
So Royce is out there, and he's such a good instructor. He's such a good kid. He's not a kid. He's a man. And
so Royce is a friend of ours who trains. Is it Taekwondo he does? Or?
No. He's Filipino martial arts. It's Bukiti Tertia in particular, and
he's a good guy too.
Real good guy.
Royce, what's his? If we want to follow him, is on Facebook, right? Royce?
So Royce Ramos. But the name of his school, it's right up here in West Nyack. It's Nomad, Nomad. Kali, Kali, Nomad.
So here's a guy too that could probably kill most people on the planet with bare hands. If you meet him, he's this tiny little guy, meek and mild and sweet and polite and the whole bit.
Until
him and Kenny Bigby Jr.
Oh man, when they were doing Sabaya, whatever it was,
I'm just sitting there going, I'm not going near this guy.
Yeah,
he's the kind of guy I could see where people would think they could push him around or something.
Well, then they have. He got jumped one time when he was in high school. It didn't work out. Whenever it was, but it didn't work out for the other guys. Yeah.
But you can see him. He probably never started. Maybe when he was younger, he would or something. But he would.
No, he was never that way. He's just a good dude. Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
Funny guy, really sweet.
But then his teacher, so to speak, Tuhan, who's like oversees the whole program. He's from the Philippines. I mean, he still lives there. He just moved here, just got married, and he's a guy. It's a little bit different approach because I would be during COVID, right? So. Be doing a Zoom thing, and we'd be working whatever it is, and Beth would be walking by, and all she'd hear is, "Then detach the head." She'd be like, "What are you watching?"
Those Filipino people from the Philippines.
Yeah,
wonderful people. All right, everybody have a fantastic day. Good to see you again, Mr. Putnam. Again, be sure 2 issues. The Patriot Training System is Mark's business. And again, that 988 hotline is there for suicide and mental health issues. So if you just want to reach out, and again, Mark and I are here if you want to reach out to us. But again, they are professionals on that hotline. So let's make sure we're all helping each other. All right. Have a fantastic day.
See you guys.
Talk to you.